All right, so this is the last of this particular group. So we talked about the people in your life, your pets, your possessions, your property, and last is professional. So do you need to have a backpack specifically for things in your profession? The answer is many times yes, you should, because there are things that are specific to the way you work, unless you just use your laptop, in which case you probably don't need one, right? Because you already have a laptop, it's going into your backpack. But if you work in a particular place where you have to have certain things, then this is the backpack. So for example, let's say you work in healthcare and there's a disaster and you have to come into work because healthcare professionals, if there's a disaster, most of the time are called, you got to go into work. So should you have some extra blankets in there? Yes, you should. Should you have an extra pillowcase in there? Yes, you should. Should you have a basic pillow for you to use? Yes, you should. And if you're going to be sleeping in that facility, you don't want to be using random pillows, right? It's nice to have your own things. If you're a professional that wants to sleep in their office, that's fine. I don't know a lot of offices that keep pillows around and blankets. So that's something that might go into that professional backpack. Also, if you have specific work laptops, that will go in there as well. If you have certain kinds of security key cards, there should be extras in that backpack in case you lose them, right? In your primary backpack, in your personal one, I generally don't suggest putting in your security key cards in there. I suggest keeping them in your professional backpack so that it makes sure that you have them separated. That's really, really important because there are certain things that are going to get prioritized and you don't want to mix it up. It should go in the professional one. That is the easiest way to go. The other thing to place in the professional is anything you need to operate, whether it's a specific company phone, that's the place to keep it. If there's a specific type of technology or wearable device you have to have, put it in there. Anything along those lines should go into the professional backpack because that professional backpack is going to help you to understand what needs to be done and where you're going to be able to go based on the equipment requirements. I'm also going to make another pronouncement of something you should have, which is at companies, they actually have written disaster plans many times. If they do, that should go in the professional backpack. If they have a disaster plan, get a copy of it and get it in the backpack. You don't need every page, but certain pages of the disaster plan should go in that backpack so you know what the company is going to do in a disaster. In the professional backpack should also go any specific shoes that go for work. So again, if you work in a high-rise tower, you're not going to carry around your emergency backpack everywhere, so you take your professional backpack with you. And that will have your shoes that you will wear if you are at work, right? If you have specific kind of clothing, you can put a separate set of clothing in that professional backpack. If you have special kind of keys you need to have, that's where it will also go. Even if you don't have a separate set, so you have one set of keys, that's fine. That's where you will keep it for the duration of the disaster so it doesn't get mixed up. You would be amazed at how many times people lose things when they are evacuating from place to place to place and they're not able to find the things that they absolutely need. So make sure that when you are filling up your professional backpack, fill it up with everything you actually need. I actually work with someone who's a public relations professional and she goes on the media, and I told her to keep a really nice set of clothes in her professional backpack along with everything she needs for her hair, even keeping a brush, anything she needs to speak to the media, even if there's a flood or a hurricane. That's where it will all go, in the professional backpack. Don't mix it with your personal stuff because that is completely separate and that will create a tremendous amount of confusion. This is Disaster Patrick, and remember, prepare for a disaster and you'll never experience one.